Don't blink, it's your boy Ink. Welcome to the show because you're doing well on this 8th December 2024. It is a beautiful day outside. We're quite tipsy for some reason, and it's a beautiful day. Today I was looking for one of my favorite series that I haven't watched in a while because we already finished reviewing it. So this is technically the very first series that we completely recapped, and that series is called, can I get a drum roll please? Some bongo, some xylophone. Okay, your turn drums. Not forgetting the cymbals, violin solo. None of that happened. We're kind of out of budget, but since we're kind of cool, since we're besties, you're gonna imagine that all of those instruments happen, right? Cool. So today we're having a kind of like a touchy subject. Why am I bringing up Kenny versus Penny? Is because they took down the channel for Kenny versus Penny, right? Now, YouTube took down Kenny versus Penny, right? Now, ultimately speaking, I have to be the devil advocate. There's a lot of things that in Kenny versus Penny there should be happening today. They should be said. There's word to be said. There's word to use. There's smoking weed when it was illegal. There's a whole episode about racism, about homophobia, right? And you see, the time are different, and I notice you use this. You know that you hear this excuse a lot. Oh, time are different, time are different, time are different. Something about the past, something about the present, right? Now, do I agree with the fact that this content was deleted? See, that's the thing. That's the thing. If I'm going to be talking about my stuff again, something we never did, I had this porno story. Yeah, right, porno. Listen, we all have a way to gain some bread, right? Some of us take a picture naked online, some of us write pictures naked online. I write, right? Right. Sounds phenomenal. And I trusted the platform that I was on not to delete the thing without warning me, and they will delete the thing. I didn't have a backup. Adios, amigo. And we lost it all, right? I lose it all, but when I fall, or I said, Favorite Punch also, if I fall, I'm taking everybody down. And do I agree with the fact that they took out the content? Not really. Now I know what you're saying. I agree with the fact that the content could be perceived as offensive. I understand that the content could be seen as something that would make a lot of people uncomfortable, right? But that's the thing with YouTube. There's so many content creators, there's so many videos. I doubt that those terms that were offensive, those episodes that were offensive were the most popular. So the most popular is who can blow the biggest fart, right? Now, technically speaking, right? Technically speaking, it's not the most offensive thing. It's disgusting, but it's not the most offensive thing. Think about the episode that should be taken out. So, for example, fucking Spenny, right? There's a episode called "Who the Black Guy Likes Better," and Kenny comes in and wears this KKK outfit. Now he's a dumbass for that. This is highly unsensitive, but I cannot excuse that, right? The word of the use retard, the words of the use faggots cannot excuse that, right? But it's a different period of time. Now, see, the problem that I have here, the situation that I have here, is I understand why it was taken down. Do I agree? Not really. And for the reason is simple is that if it was content made today, right, I would understand. If it was content made today, I would understand. But it's content that was made in 2000, right? And the craziest thing is YouTube kind of took a stance on it, and the stance is actually quite severe. So Kenny vs. Penny aired on Showcase. Showcase was one of the edgier channel in Canada. God bless Canadian. God bless our flag. Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light, why so proudly we hail. A little bit of Canadian patriotism. You can thank me later or now. I'll give you a couple of seconds. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. My pleasure. No. Stop, it's my pleasure. Stop, please. You're making me shy. So, I could be defending this because it was Canadian, right? But it was a Canadian broadcast. Kenny versus Penny was on TV, right? So YouTube, which aims to be a bit more liberative platform than TV, took out a show that was on TV and took it out of his website. Now, again, Showcase is not a good example. They had the Trailer Park Boys, my favorite movie, one of my favorite series, where they're fucking growing dope, right? Or there was Porn Show on a Friday at like 8 o'clock. Yeah, I understand that Showcase was a bit more edgy, But it was still TV. It was still fucking TV. There was rule and regulation for TV, right? And Showcase got away with it. So YouTube doing that showed more of a righteous end than Showcase, right? There's another reason for that is very sad. See, I'm extremely lucky, and I know I said so before, and I'm not gonna sound like a fucking boomer, but I don't care. I don't care. I was extremely happy or extremely privileged to have grown up on shows where there wasn't this regulation, right? I grew up watching South Park. I grew up watching Kid Spetty. I grew up watching Trailer Park Boys. I grew up watching fucking Big Brother. I grew up watching a lot of shows that I shouldn't have watched. It was on TV, so it was okay. My parents didn't check what I was watching, right? My mom kind of knew what I was watching. My mom, she came in. Oh my god, she came in. One of the best memories that I have, right? My mom came in, and again, I hope I'm not offending everybody, or a couple people. If I offend one person, then fuck it. I don't really care. But, see, you're here, you're good. The extreme reality, right, is my mom, she came into my room to see if I was doing. And I was watching the South Park episode where Eric Cartman does some anti-Semitic speech, and he disguises himself as Adolf Hitler. And she was like, "This is not funny." And I was laughing because it was a show. Now the subject isn't funny, but she was right, you know. So Kenny versus Penny being deleted. I grew up watching this. Kenny Hart, which is one of the Kenny versus Penny, right? You understand. Taught me a lot about life. Sometimes you have to cheat. Sometimes your moral has to be different, you know. And it's a lot of the thing that I know, a lot of the way that I act as a young adult was because of Kenny Hart. He was a god to me. Because he was cool. He didn't give a fuck, and I gave too much of a fuck, you know? And showed me a lot. Now, to finish with this video, because I got 7% battery, so I'm gonna have to make a quick video. But my problem with YouTube taking down Kenny vs. Penny is a simple step of misinformation. So a lot of people would look at misinformation and would think about you're spreading wrong information. You're spreading non-factual information. You're spreading fabricated number. For example, if I'm a wine cellar, right, and I tell you that this is 100% organic and that it's 22% alcohol, right, and it's not true, then it's misinformation, right? That's illegal, right? But misinformation is more than that. Misinformation is presenting in front of you selected information. So media, right? Now I'm not a conspirationist, but there's a lot of the thing that the government does that the media knows that they don't tell us, because the government said, "Hey, hush, 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 little baby, don't you cry. Everything's gonna be alright." A bit of Eminem in their side. Prove them a '90s baby. Right? I could say something about Evanescence. You want some Evanescence? How can you see into my eyes like open door or lithium? Come, don't wanna lock me up inside lithium, or don't cry to me. Don't call me when you're sober. Really good song. Or Tourniquet. Tourniquet is actually really fucking good. Or Broken. I wanted you to know that I love the way you laugh. I wanna hold you high and steal your pain away. I kept your photograph and you know it served me well. I wanna hold you high and steal your pain, 'cause I'm broken when I'm lonesome. Shout out to Lexia Blunt. She loved that song. I haven't talked to her in a decade, but she loved that song, so shout out. If you see this, you're loved. If you don't see this, you're still loved. Why would she be loved? Because you didn't see a fucking video from a guy with now almost 500 followers. Oh, by the way, I'm gonna do a shameless plug. Shameless plug. Can I possibly? Would you get mad at me if I do a shameless plug? Would you get mad at me? No? Okay, cool. So yeah. I'm almost at 500 followers, and at 500 followers, we're doing something special. We're gonna put this out there. So, long story short, why am I kind of against this? It's misinformation. So misinformation is also presenting in front of you only selected information. So when you presented yourself only selected information is as simple as a shepherd leading sheep. right? You got a shepherd leading sheep, and they're following, and they're following, and they're following. And one man can guide 40, 50 sheep, right? Now, there's some sheep that are going to be more selective. That's why you have sheepdog. Sheepdogs are dogs that's going to run around this circle around the sheep. They're going to see which of those sheeps are not in line, and they're going to bring them back to line. Now, that's the media. The shepherd is the government. The sheepdog are the media, right? They're spreading information. Say, hey, keep you in line, right? If you look at song like Sugar from System of a Down, which we use for the film The Anchorman with Will Ferrell, which is chef kisses. See, my issue with disinformation is presenting me multiple information, right? Presenting me multiple version of information, right? Because when I'm presented with more than one version, I'll form an opinion. This is true, this is not true. This makes sense, this doesn't make sense, right? Now, if the only option that I have, and also there's a lot of laziness in today's society. Oh, well, I was presented this information, well, I don't really need to look it up, right? When is the last time you heard something and you Googled if it was true? When was the last time? Right? And tell me something. When you Google something to make sure that it was true, right? Tell me something. Did you, by any chance at all, right? Did you check out the first page, the second page, the third page? You check out the first page. Okay, that's cool. So because you check out the first page, right, you're seeing the most popular of pages. But what if I told you, right, that Google will allow you to pay to raise your results? Google will allow you to pay to say, you know what, I want to be in the first page of results, right? Google will allow you to play. Even if you look at vapes, you look at researches on vapes, right? And you see that those researches on vape, if you look at who's founding the research on vapes, is tobacco company, right? Now, I'm not pointing fingers, but there's a lot of control of information. The electric car was supposed to be discovered a decade ago, right? But you know what happened, right? A gas company that shall remain nameless, because I don't want to be slandering people, right? That'd be bad, right? Went out there and said, you know what? We'll buy your plans. Then they destroyed the plan because that plan was gonna stop them from selling everything, right? Now, even the government in Canada, weed became legal not too long ago. Sorry, Tokyo breaker of chains. Weed became legal not too long ago, right? Now the person, right? The person that was in charge of it was Justin Trudeau, which is our prime minister right now, right? Well, if you were to research Justin Trudeau, right, and if you were to research his party member, right, you would discover that a lot of them are currently facing charges of insider trade. So it was a plan that the weed was going to become legal, and it was planned that a selected handful were going to be investing in the fact that weed was going to be legal, right? Because they invested in weed being legal, they made a lot of cash on your back, right? Here's something. So why am I against YouTube taking down a selected, right? It's simply, very simply put, you know, I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna go fucking there. You know what the Romans used to do as they conquered? They used to burn library. My culture is the only one you know. You know, during the Third Reich, do you know what they did? They used to burn books. Do you know what's going on in North Korea right now? Complete remodeling of the school system. The highway or the highway. But in this one, there's no highway. Can't leave, otherwise. False information is certain than right information. Because right information can be controlled, can dispose, right? There's things that the public shouldn't know, but there's things that you should tell the public that you don't tell them. There's information that could be presented. See, the Candy vs. Penny is an example, but it's more so about the whole thing. Give us information. Let us decide when it's too much. I'm going to take an example, and again, I know that I'm giving you guys a lot of example, but I couldn't care fucking less. The first example I'm going to give you is Twitter, right? If you look on Twitter about, I want to say 4 years ago, right? If you look on Twitter, you could assist, right? You could assist to a certain beheading. That's what they use, beheading? Yeah. Should beheading be presented on social media? No. Right? That's where a crime is committed. There's a fine line, and I think you and I are able to put that fine line. Right? See, I was in cults. I grew up watching a movie called Rampage, and the guy was a conspiracy theorist, right? And he was telling people a lot of things. You know that the overpopulation of the world is a hoax. It's an hoax. It's not true, right? You know that they want to bring their prices up because if you believe that there's so many people on Earth and we cannot give food to everybody, then you're willing to pay for food more, right? Understand that, right? It's your choice if you're presented with information to choose. I believe in that. I don't believe in that. And it's not your choice when you're presented with information. Give you a last example, then we're gonna have to go because that is at 4%. Last example, my word. What if I told you, right? You're a father, okay? You're a mother. You have your kid, right? Who is being told information that is not true, right? What if I told you the whole school system was going against your teaching, right? So your kid won't know who to choose between you and teacher, right? And who are you to make them choose? There's more than one truth. Want me to resume in one sentence? There's more than one truth. There's only one belief. Anyway, freedom of speech. Freedom of fucking speech. No matter how long that speech is. I would rather somebody says some awful shit get beat up than somebody that thinks them that don't say it. Because the guy who thinks about those things and don't say them get to leave free, no consequences. That's a problem. Misinformation is a bigger problem. And yeah, love you guys. Take it easy. Peace.